Hey there, dream explorers. Ever wake up from a strange dream and think, what was that all about?
Yeah.
Today's deep dive is all about common dream interpretations, and we're diving into articles from Very Well Mind and the Casper blog to help you decode those mysterious messages from your slumbering subconscious.
Oh, cool.
We're talking about showing up to work naked, being chased by mysterious figures, teeth just vanishing, the classics.
It's so fascinating how these themes, they just seem to resonate across cultures and time periods.
Yeah.
It speaks to this innate human desire to understand, like, the workings of our inner world.
Absolutely. Even Freud was captivated by this, famously calling dreams the royal road to the unconscious. But instead of getting lost in the depths of Freudian theory today, we're going to focus on how dream interpretation can offer a practical way to process experiences and understand ourselves a little better.
Right, exactly, yeah. Modern perspectives, like those highlighted in our sources, suggest that dreams are less about uncovering like those repressed desires and more about integrating daily experiences, making new neural connections.
Okay.
It's like our brain is doing some serious overnight processing while we sleep.
Like hitting the save button on all those memories and emotions, all the stuff from the day.
Exactly. And during this process, those experiences, especially the emotionally charged ones, they often bubble up in symbolic ways.
It's like our brains are speaking a different language, and we're here to kind of try and translate it.
Right.
So let's decode some of those symbols, shall we? Our sources point out that some dream themes are surprisingly relatable.
Yeah.
In fact, research shows the top 7 are being chased, running late, loved ones dying, falling, flying, being back in school, and, well, sex.
Of course.
For this deep dive, we'll unpack the ones covered in both of our sources. Ready to jump in?
Absolutely, yeah. Let's start with the classic chase dream.
No.
It's a common theme that often leaves people waking up with a jolt.
Talk about a heart-pounding start to your morning. But what does it all mean? Both our sources seem to agree that these dreams usually symbolize avoidance, like our brains are telling us we're running from something in our waking lives.
It's that, like the classic fight or flight response playing out, but in the world of our subconscious. But the real gold is in the details, right?
Okay.
WHO, or What is Chasing Us, can offer some valuable clues about what we might be avoiding.
So it's like our subconscious is giving us a personalized escape room, complete with clues.
Right.
For example, let's say you're being chased by an animal.
Ah.
Very well. Mind, quoting dream expert Tony Crisp, suggests this could symbolize unexpressed anger or passion. It's like those intense emotions are taking on a life of their own in our dreams because we haven't dealt with them in our waking life.
Right. It's almost as if our dreams are giving those suppressed emotions a voice, a way to express themselves.
But what if it's not a wild beast on your heels, but like a shadowy, unknown figure? That's even more unsettling.
It certainly adds an element of mystery. According to Very Well Mind, being pursued by an unknown entity often points to unresolved issues, potentially stemming from childhood experiences that haven't been fully processed.
Ooh, okay. Our subconscious is like, hey, remember that thing you've been avoiding? Yeah, we need to talk about it. Okay, but what about those chase dreams with, shall we say, a more alluring pursuer?
Ah, yes, the classic chase with a romantic twist. These dreams can be particularly perplexing.
It's like your subconscious is playing matchmaker in your sleep. So what's the interpretation here?
Well, Tony Crisp, again featured in Very Well Mind, suggests that these dreams might point to a fear of intimacy or even unresolved baggage from a past relationship. It's almost as if our dreams are urging us to explore whether we're truly open to love or if we're subconsciously sabotaging ourselves.
So much drama, even in our sleep. Speaking of dramatic, let's talk about falling dreams. I think we've all experienced that sudden jolt as we plummet into the abyss.
It's a universal experience that seems to tap into a primal fear.
Right. And it's interesting because it's not always about an actual fear of heights. Our sources point out that falling dreams are often linked to feelings of insecurity or a sense that things in our waking lives are spiraling out of control.
It's that sudden loss of control, that feeling of being pulled down against our will, that resonates so strongly with our experiences of vulnerability and insecurity.
And there's actually research to back this up, which Very Well Mind highlights. Dream expert Russell Grant puts it perfectly when he says that falling often expresses a need to let yourself go more and enjoy life more. It's like our subconscious is giving us a gentle or not so gentle nudge to loosen our grip on control.
It's a reminder that sometimes surrendering to the unknown and allowing ourselves to be vulnerable can lead to unexpected joy and freedom.
Okay, ready to unpack another super common but maybe slightly embarrassing dream theme.
Lay it on me. No judgment here in the deep dive.
All right, picture this. You're suddenly standing in the middle of a crowded room and you realize you're completely naked. Your clothes have magically vanished.
The ultimate nightmare for anyone who's ever felt a twinge of social anxiety, right?
Right. It's right up there with public speaking and realizing you forgot to wear pants to work.
Ugh.
But as mortifying as these dreams can be, they often point to deeper anxieties we might be harboring.
Absolutely. Dream expert Penny Pierce, quoted in Very Well Mind, suggests these dreams often tap into fears of being exposed, of other people discovering our flaws, or seeing us as a fraud. It's like our subconscious is putting our deepest insecurities on full display.
So it's not really about the nudity itself, but rather about feeling vulnerable and exposed in a more general sense.
Exactly. It's about those moments where we feel like we're not measuring up, where we're afraid of being judged or rejected for who we truly are.
That makes a lot of sense. And sometimes those anxieties manifest in even stranger ways, like dreaming about our teeth falling out.
Ah, yes, another classic dream theme that can leave us feeling a bit unsettled.
Very well, mine paints a pretty vivid picture here, describing teeth that are loose, wiggling, and in some cases just completely gone.
Like our subconscious is staging a dental horror movie.
Right, and the interpretations are just as unsettling. Penny Pierce suggests that losing teeth in a dream can symbolize a loss of personal power, assertiveness, or the ability to protect oneself. It's like our subconscious is giving us a wake-up call, urging us to find our voice and stand up for ourselves.
Precisely. These dreams often arise during times of transition or change where we might be questioning our own strength or ability to navigate new challenges.
It's like our subconscious is saying, hey, you've got this, but you might need to tap into your inner strength a bit more. Okay, enough with the anxiety-inducing themes. Let's talk about some dreams that are actually quite pleasant, like those exhilarating flying dreams.
Ah, the freedom of flight. It's no wonder these dreams are often associated with a sense of liberation and empowerment.
Exactly. Both of our sources point out that flying dreams often symbolize a desire for independence, a yearning to break free from constraints and soar above our problems.
Dream expert Tony Crisp, featured in both Very Well Mind and the Casper blog, highlights that flying alone often symbolizes self-reliance and confidence,
Okay, yeah.
It's like our subconscious is giving us a pat on the back for spreading our wings and embracing our own strength.
But there's also a flip side to this, right? Sometimes, flying dreams can also represent a desire to escape from something in our waking lives.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that yearning for escape and understanding what it might be telling us about our current circumstances. Are we feeling overwhelmed, trapped, or simply in need of a break from the daily grind?
It's like our subconscious is saying, hey, maybe it's time for a vacation, even if it's just a mental one.
Precisely. Dreams offer a safe space to explore those desires and anxieties that we might not be consciously acknowledging.
Speaking of exploring anxieties, let's talk about those dreams that can really shake us to our core dreams about death.
Death is such a powerful symbol, one that often evokes strong emotions, even in the realm of dreams.
Absolutely. And while it's tempting to interpret these dreams literally, our sources suggest they're more likely about a fear of change or transition rather than an actual premonition of doom.
Dream expert Lori Lowenberg, quoted in Very Well Mind, puts it beautifully when she says, like death, change can be scary because we don't know what's on the other side of the change, which is why the dreaming mind equates change with death.
It's like our subconscious is using the metaphor of death to help us process the ending of one chapter and the beginning of a new one.
Exactly. These dreams often arise when we're going through major life transitions, like moving, changing jobs, ending a relationship, or even just navigating a new phase of life.
So if you're having a death dream, it might be helpful to ask yourself, what significant changes am I facing in my waking life? What fears or anxieties are those changes bringing up for me?
It's about delving into the emotional landscape of the dream and seeing what insights emerge.
Okay, enough with the heavy stuff. Let's talk about something a little more, shall we say, life-affirming. Pregnancy dreams.
Ah, yes. Dreams of new beginnings, creative potential, and the expansion of possibilities.
Exactly. Now, for some, a pregnancy dream could be quite literal, but for many, it symbolizes the birth of a new idea, the start of a new project, or even a shift in perspective.
It's that feeling of something new emerging, a potential waiting to be nurtured and brought to life.
I love that. And the best part is, these dreams can happen to anyone, regardless of gender or age. It's all about what resonates with your personal experience and aspirations.
Precisely. Dream interpretation is a deeply personal journey, not a one-size-fits-all approach.
So true. Okay, before we move on to some other fascinating aspects of the dream world, how about a few quickfire insights into some other common themes?
Hit me with your best shot.
How about those dreams where you're back in school, sitting at a desk, completely unprepared for a big test? We've probably all experienced those at some point.
Oh, the dreaded test-taking dream. It's a classic for a reason.
Right. It seems like these dreams often reflect that feeling of being put on the spot, of being tested in our waking lives, whether it's an upcoming work deadline, a social event, or just life in general throwing us curveballs.
It's that fear of not measuring up, of being caught off guard that can trigger those school-related anxieties even years after we've graduated.
It's like our subconscious is giving us a pop quiz on how well we're handling the pressures of everyday life.
Precisely. And speaking of pressure, what about those dreams where we find ourselves submerged in water?
Water is such a powerful and evocative symbol. Both Very Well Mind and the Casper blog emphasize that the interpretation depends heavily on the context and the dreamer's personal relationship with water.
Absolutely, yeah. For some, water represents peace and tranquility, while for others, it might evoke feelings of anxiety or fear.
It's like our subconscious is speaking to us in our own unique language of symbols and metaphors.
Exactly. And it's to us to learn how to interpret those messages in a way that resonates with our own experiences and emotions.
Speaking of intense emotions, let's talk about those dreams that can really stir things up in a relationship. Infidelity dreams.
Ah, yes, those dreams can be incredibly unsettling, even if they're not based in reality.
Right. It's like our subconscious is throwing a grenade into our emotional landscape. But before anyone jumps to conclusions, assuming these dreams mean their partner is actually cheating, our sources offer a different perspective.
Yeah, it's important to remember that dreams are often symbolic, not literal. The Casper blog suggests that these dreams might stem from our brain's tendency to test what-if scenarios, preparing us for potential challenges or anxieties in a safe space.
It's like our subconscious is running simulations, exploring different possibilities, and helping us build resilience in the process.
Precisely. These dreams don't necessarily mean there's something wrong in the relationship, but they might point to underlying issues with trust, communication, or insecurity that could benefit from being addressed.
It's like our subconscious is waving a little red flag, saying, hey, there might be something here that needs attention.
Exactly. Instead of reacting with fear or blame, approach these dreams with curiosity and compassion. What might they be trying to tell you about your own emotional needs and the dynamics of your relationship?
Such a valuable insight. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. From exhilarating flights of fancy to those unsettling dreams that leave us feeling a bit shaken. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, there's one more fascinating aspect of the dream world we need to explore. Recurring dreams. Have you ever had those where the same dream or variations of it keep popping up again and again?
Recurring dreams are fascinating. They often hold significant meaning, pointing to unresolved conflicts or recurring patterns in our waking lives that we might not be consciously addressing.
It's like our subconscious is sending us a message on repeat saying, hey, pay attention to this. There's something here you need to explore further.
Exactly. And what's interesting is that these recurring dreams are more common than you might think. The Casper blog highlights that they affect about 60–75% of adults.
Wow, that's a lot of us stuck in dream loops. And these recurring dreams aren't always the most pleasant experiences, are they?
Unfortunately, no. They often evoke negative or stressful emotions, which makes sense given their connection to unresolved issues or anxieties.
It's like our subconscious is holding up a mirror, reflecting back those patterns and behaviors that might be holding us back in our waking lives.
Precisely. Recurring dreams are rarely random. They often represent our mind's way of urging us to confront something we might be avoiding or to break free from a cycle that's no longer serving us.
That's such a powerful way to think about it. It's like those dreams are gifts, even if they come wrapped in unsettling packaging.
Absolutely. They offer us a unique opportunity for growth and self-discovery, and what's fascinating is how those recurring dreams often persist until we address the underlying issue. It's like our subconscious won't let us off the hook that easily.
It's like having a dream buddy who's also a therapist, constantly reminding us to do the inner work.
It's like our subconscious is saying, hey, I'm going to keep replaying this until you get the message.
A very persistent dream buddy indeed. But, as much as we love categorizing and analyzing these dream themes, it's important to remember that dream interpretation is a deeply personal and subjective process.
Absolutely, yeah. While those common themes can offer a starting point, ultimately, the meaning of our dreams is unique to each individual.
It's like trying to find your own personal style. You can draw inspiration from others, but ultimately you have to create a look that feels authentic to you.
Ooh, I like that analogy. And
Yeah.
just like developing your personal style, understanding your dreams takes time, experimentation, and a willingness to explore what resonates with your own experiences and intuition.
Speaking of exploration, both of our sources today offer some great tips for anyone who wants to dive deeper into their dream world. One of the most common suggestions: keep a dream journal.
Ah, the trusty dream journal is such a valuable tool for capturing those fleeting dream fragments before they fade away.
It's like having a notebook by your bed to jot down those brilliant ideas that strike in the middle of the night. Except in this case, the ideas are coming from your subconscious.
Exactly. The Casper blog suggests keeping that journal right by your bed so you can write down those dream details as soon as you wake up before those memories evaporate like morning mist.
It's amazing how quickly those vivid dream images can disappear once we're back in the hustle and bustle of our day.
Yeah, it's like trying to grasp a handful of sand. The tighter you hold on, the more slips through your fingers. But with practice, that dream recall can improve. Both sources highlight the importance of setting an intention before you drift off to sleep.
It's like giving your subconscious a gentle nudge, saying, hey, I'm open to receiving whatever messages you have for me tonight.
Precisely. And just like you wouldn't want to be abruptly jolted out of a sound sleep, our sources suggest trying to wake up naturally without an alarm, if possible.
It allows for a more gradual transition from the dream world to waking life, giving those memories a chance to solidify.
Exactly. And just as you might avoid a heavy meal before a big workout, it's a good idea to limit alcohol and caffeine before bed, as they can disrupt REM sleep, which is prime dream time.
Oh, yeah, it's like trying to have a deep conversation with someone who's had a little too much caffeine. You're not going to get very far. But I think the biggest question on everyone's mind is, do our dreams really have a deeper meaning? Are they trying to tell us something? Or are they just random firings of neurons while our brains do their nightly cleaning routine?
Right, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And like most things in life, the answer isn't always clear-cut. There's no definitive scientific consensus on the purpose or meaning of dreams, but that's part of what makes them so fascinating?
Yeah, it's like trying to solve a cosmic riddle. Every time we think we're getting close to an answer, another layer of mystery reveals itself.
Exactly. Throughout history, different cultures and schools of thought have developed their own unique perspectives on dream interpretation. We've touched on Freud and his ideas about the unconscious, but he certainly wasn't the only one exploring the depths of dream symbolism. Carl Jung, for example, offered a completely different perspective.
Jung, he's the one who talked about the collective unconscious, right?
That's right. While Jung agreed with Freud on the importance of the unconscious mind, he had a more expansive view of dreams. He saw them as expressions of both our personal and collective unconscious, a shared reservoir of universal experiences and archetypes.
So it's like our dreams can tap into a wellspring of ancient wisdom and shared human experiences that go beyond our individual lives.
Exactly. Jung believed that by paying attention to recurring symbols and themes in our dreams, particularly those that appear across cultures and time periods, we could connect with something larger than ourselves, something that speaks to our shared humanity.
That's such a beautiful way to think about it. It's like those dreams offer us glimpses into the vast interconnected tapestry of human experience.
Precisely. And then there's Calvin Hall, who took a more practical, research-oriented approach to dream interpretation.
So less about searching for hidden meanings and more about analyzing the data, the patterns, and the recurring themes that emerge in our dreams.
Exactly. Hall believed that those patterns could offer valuable insights into our waking lives, our relationships, and our emotional well-being. He wasn't so much interested in assigning universal interpretations to specific symbols, but rather in looking at the overall content and emotional tone of our dreams.
So it's like those dreams are providing us with feedback, offering a different lens through which to view our experiences and relationships.
Precisely. It's about recognizing that our dreams, even the strange and seemingly nonsensical ones, often reflect our innermost thoughts, fears, and desires in a way that our conscious mind might not be fully aware of.
It's like our subconscious is trying to get our attention, sometimes in subtle ways, sometimes with a dramatic flair.
Exactly. And by paying attention, by approaching those dreams with a sense of curiosity and openness, we might just unlock a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us.
That's a beautiful way to wrap things up. It's like those dreams are invitations to embark on a journey of self-discovery, and the adventures are limited only by the boundless possibilities of our imaginations.
Precisely. So, the next time you wake up from a vivid dream, instead of brushing it off, take a moment to reflect. How did it make you feel? What were the key themes or symbols that stood out? What might your subconscious be trying to communicate?
Make it a dream journal. Notice those recurring patterns. Pay attention to your emotions. Who knows what amazing insights you might uncover about yourself along the way.
You might be surprised by what you discover lurking beneath the surface of your waking life. It's a fascinating journey and one well worth taking.
This has been such a fascinating deep dive into the world of dreams. Thank you so much for joining us on this exploration of the subconscious.
The pleasure was all mine. Sweet dreams, everyone.